for 2 more minutes so that Halima could also join us,
Okay,
and
sir.
then we will continue with the topic.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We were talking about the distribution of the accumulated reserve and profit in the last session. Sani.
Yes, sir. Till 75 we have done.
75 we have done.
Yeah.
So we need to start a new topic today, which is the treatment of the workman compensation. Okay. All right, everyone. So let's start since Halima has joined us. Okay, so in today's class, we'll be talking about the treatment of the workman compensation. Treatment of workman compensation. Reserve. So first of all, in order to understand the how do we actually treat the treatment of how do we treat the workman compensation reserve, we need to first understand what is the meaning of the workman compensation reserve. Okay, so what is actually workman compensation reserve? See, first of all, workman compensation, that is WCR, workman compensation. I'm using the short form. Workman compensation reserve is a reserve which is made out of profit. It is a reserve which is made out of profit. That means it is a part of profit that is kept by the firm, made out of profit by the firm, reserve which is made out of profit made by the firm, so as to compensate the workers, compensate the workers in such an event wherein any worker get injured or any kind of accident occur, and due to such accident any worker got injured. So to compensate such injured worker, we made a reserve. We reserve a part of profit just to compensate such worker who got injured at workplace. So such reserve which is used to which is made out of profit just to compensate the workers is called the workman compensation reserve. Got it, everyone? Workman compensation reserve
Yes.
is what? It is a part of profit. It is made out of profit, and the purpose of this reserve, is to compensate the worker in a situation wherein the worker get injured at workplace during the performance performance of the work or performance of his duty at the workplace. So whenever any worker get injured, firm has to pay a certain part of compensation, certain amount as a compensation. So for that purpose, sometime partner decide to make a reserve, out of profit, so that when any person get injured or any employee need to be compensated, such employee can be compensated immediately on urgent basis out of the reserve that firm have already made for such a situation. All right. Now, what happens from the accounting point of view? There may arise different situations. Let's suppose the workman compensation that firm have made, workman compensation reserve that firm have made is of rupees, let's suppose it is of rupees 5 lakhs. The firm is of opinion that whenever any kind of injury or accident arise to any worker or employee, we can pay compensation till rupees 5 lakh. But there may be different situation. Let's suppose situation first could be there is no injury, there is no injury taken place at the workplace, and therefore there is no claim made by any person, any employee. There is no claim made by any partner, sorry, any employee. There is no claim by the name of workman compensation. No claim have been made by the name of workman compensation. So tell me, the reserve, the amount of reserve that we have made, what are we going to do with this reserve? If the if the if there is no compensation claim has been made by any worker, then what are we going to do with the amount of reserve that we have already made out of profit just to compensate the workers? So whenever compensation claims are not made by the employee, then the amount of reserve that we have already made is generally distributed among the partner. It is distributed among the partners. Since no claim have been made, so the it is distributed among partner. Now the question arises, how much of the reserve is distributed among the partner? So the answer is, since nothing is being claimed by the partner on account of workman compensation, this means that we will be in a position to distribute the entire amount of reserve among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio, among partners in the old profit sharing ratio, old PSR, old PSR. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
See, the sole purpose of the reserve is to compensate the workers in a situation of the injury or accident. But the question arises, what if such event does not arise? So in such a situation, if such event does not happen, then it means that the workman compensation is not claimed. It simply means that the amount of reserve can be distributed among the partners, right? And such amount will be distributed among the partner in the old profit sharing ratio. Old profit sharing ratio. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this was situation number 1. Now let's talk about situation second. Let's suppose employees have actually made a claim, and such claim, there is a claim. There is a claim. Sorry, there is a claim which is equal to 5 lakh. Firm have made a reserve of 5 lakh, and by chance employees have claimed a workman compensation which is exactly equal to the amount of reserve that firm have made. Now tell me, since the entire amount is being claimed by the employee as a workman compensation, so tell me, is there any amount left to be distributed among the partners? Yes or no?
No.
No. So since there is no amount left to be distributed among the partners, that means the entire amount will be adjusted toward the workman compensation only. Entire amount will be adjusted toward the workman compensation only. Got it?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Now tell me, now see, whenever there is no claim made by any employee on account of workman compensation, in such a situation, workman compensation reserve is treated like this. We need to pass the journal entry. So for case 1, we will be doing the journal entry like this. Let me erase this and write it here. The journal entry for this situation will be, we'll write down workman compensation reserve account will be debited, and since nothing is claimed by the employee, then this entire amount will be distributed among the partners. Let's suppose there are 2 partners, A. So we'll give a proportion of the workman compensation reserve to A. A's capital account will be credited to A's capital account, and the remaining part of the workman compensation will be given to B. So the remaining part will be credited to B's capital account. So let's suppose if the workman compensation is of rupees 5 lakh, and they, let's suppose both are the equal partner, their old profit sharing ratio was 1:1. That means A is going to get 2,50,000 out of 5 lakh, and B is also going to get 2,50,000 out of 5 lakh. This will be the general entry for case number 1 if nothing is being claimed on account of workman compensation by anyone. Got it? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, then there may be second situation as well, wherein the amount of claim is exactly equal to the amount of the reserve. So let me write down, claim is equal to 5 lakh. So in such a situation, the general entry will be like this. We'll write down, first of all, the workman compensation reserve is going to be debited as usual. Workman compensation reserve account will be debited. How much? By 5 lakh. This is going to remain constant. This will always be happening. Workman compensation reserve will be debited all the time, and we will be crediting the entire amount to workman compensation. We will give the entire amount to workers as a workman compensation. So workman compensation account will be credited by rupees, how much? By rupees 5 lakh. This is it. This will be the general entry for the second situation. No amount is left to be distributed among the partner in case number 2. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And also there may arise third situation. What could be the third possible situation? Third situation could be, let's suppose the claim is of rupees for let's suppose 4,20,000 only. We have made a reserve of 5 lakh, but claim was made for rupees 4,20,000 only. Then in such a situation, the general entry will be, first of all, workman compensation reserve account will be debited, right, by rupees 5 lakh, and the claim that will be given to employee on account of workman compensation will be, workman compensation account will be credited by rupees 4,20,000. Tell me the remaining amount. Tell me the remaining amount. Out of 5 lakh, we made a compensation of rupees 4,20,000. That means 80,000 is still remaining. So the, how are we going to deal with the 80,000? We will be distributing it among A and B. So A's capital account will be credited to B's capital account will be credited by 80,000. That means if both the partners are equal partners, so that means A is going to get 40,000 and B is also going to get 40,000. Tell me, it is clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. Then there may be the fourth situation as well. In the fourth situation could be, let's suppose claim actually exceed the expectation of the firm. Firm only expected that we will be having a compensation reserve equal to maximum up to 5 lakh. But actually the employees have made a claim of rupees, let's suppose 5,60,000. So claim is exceeding the amount of reserve this time, right? So tell me, is there any profit?
No.
By profit I mean, is there the amount, will there be any amount left to be distributed among the partners?
No.
No. In fact, this time partners need to contribute from their personal account towards the compensation, right?
Yes.
So in such a situation, the general entry will be, see, we are going to write down, first of all, workman compensation reserve is always going to be debited. Workman compensation reserve account will be debited by rupees. We have a reserve of rupees only 5 lakh. 2, compensation account will be, workman compensation account will be credited by how much? Tell me, 5,60,000. Now tell me whether there is a profit or a loss. This is a situation of loss, right? We have to further contribute 60,000. So since it is a loss, what are we going to do? How are we going to write down the loss? We'll write down revaluation account debit. Now this is a new point. See, revaluation account is just like a profit and loss account. In case of the partnership firm, we make a revaluation account. Revaluation account is just similar to the profit and loss account that we otherwise make in any other kind of business. In case of partnership, we make the revaluation account. So since we are having a loss of 60,000, so such loss will be debited to the revaluation account. Got it? Such difference
Yes.
will be debited to revaluation account 60,000. Got it, everyone else? No,
Yes.
sorry, Halima and everyone else.
Mm.
Okay. Now tell me, since there is a loss of 60,000 which is debited to the revaluation account, na, so this loss need to be distributed among the partners also. Eventually, this loss needed to be distributed among the partners depending upon the old profit sharing ratio. So since there is a loss of 60,000, now this time we will make another journal entry for distributing this loss of rupees 60,000. We'll write down A's capital account will be debited. That means A's capital account will be deducted. B's, out of B's capital account, we will also deduct a certain proportion. B's capital account will also be debited to, tell me, who is going to bear the entire amount of
Revaluation.
loss? Yes, correct. Revaluation account. Revaluation account will be credited by 60,000. And the loss of 60,000 will equally be distributed among A and B, considering that both are equal partners. So 30,000 will be borne by both A and B. Got it? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So that means there are four possible situations in case of the workman compensation. So what I told you is that workman compensation is a reserve. Workman compensation reserve is a reserve which is made out of profit for the purpose of compensating the workers in case of any injury or accident that may arise at workplace during the performance of the duty by the employee. So whenever such reserves are made, then such reserve will be distributed, or the treatment of such reserve will depend upon the different scenario. If the entire amount, if the nothing is claimed on account of workman compensation, then the entire amount can be distributed among the partner. If claim is exactly equal to the amount of reserve, then nothing will be distributed among the partners. If the claim is more than the less than the amount of reserve, then the remaining amount can be distributed among the partners. And if it is more than the amount of reserve, then the losses arising on account of excess claim, such loss can be, such loss need to be contributed or adjusted toward the capital account of the partners in the old ratio. Okay, so these are four possible situations. Sometime question, sometimes question is telling you that the claim is exactly equal to the reserve. It may be more than the reserve, it may be less than the reserve, but sometimes the question is silent about whether the claim is being made or not. Listen to me carefully. See, like in situation A, claim is not being made. This is already mentioned here. Partners, employees are not claiming anything on account of workman compensation. So if it is already given that workman compensation is not being claimed, that means we can distribute the entire amount of reserve to the among the partners, right?
Mm.
But sometime question is completely silent about the claim. Even the question does not specify whether the claim is being made or not, whether it is less than or more than. If question is completely silent about the workman compensation, then listen to me carefully, then in such a situation also we will distribute the entire amount of reserve among the partners, considering, assuming that there is no claim. Got it, everyone? If the
Yes.
question is silent about the claim, we will simply presume there is no claim. If the question is itself stating there is no claim, it is okay. If question is silent, there is no claim about the claim, we will presume there is no claim. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So keeping that in mind, let's start with questions. First of all, let's cover the definition part, and I want all of you to write it down. Workman compensation. Write down the definition on your notebooks, putting the heading as workman compensation. Write down workman compensation reserve is a reserve created out of firm's profit to meet the possible liability to pay the compensation to employees if it arises. It means a claim may or may not arise. It also means that claim may be higher than the amount of reserve. Please note it down. Let me know when you are done, and then we will move to the next slide. And also tell me if anything is not clear.
Done, sir.
Done.
Done. Okay.
Done.
All right. Just okay. So also write down this point. Workman compensation reserve. The treatment start from this point. Treatment will be done depending upon if there is no information given regarding the treatment, if there is no claim given, if there is claim on workman compensation. So treatment depends upon the different situation. If no claim is given, no information is given, then entire amount will be distributed among the partners, right? On the basis of the old profit sharing ratio. And if there is any information, if there is no information given in the question, then also we will be doing the same treatment. Entire amount will be distributed among the partner. And if there is claim given in the question, then such claim, there are three possible situations in it. Such claim can be equal to the amount of reserve that we have made. It could be less than the amount of reserve that we have made, or it could also be more than the amount of reserve that we have made. So depending upon different situation, we will be passing the different journal entries, treating the workman compensation reserve differently. Got it, everyone? Is this clear to all of you?
Yes.
Okay, all right, note it down.
Done, sir.
Done. Everyone else also?
Yes.
Okay. Also write down these journal entries. If there is no information given in the question, then the entire amount of compensation is distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. So in such a situation, the journal entry will be workman compensation account debit to partners capital account. If there is no claim given in the question, then also we will be doing the same journal entry, workman compensation account debit to partners capital account. And if there is claim on workman compensation, then there are three possible situations. Such claim can be less than the reserve, more than the reserve, equal to the reserve. So depending upon different situation, we will be dealing the question differently. So please write it down quickly.
Done, sir.
Then please confirm everyone else.
Here also done.
Done. Okay, please write this down as well. So I have divided all situation in three different cases. Case number one is where claim is less than the reserve. Then the general entry will be workman compensation. So you need to make a correction here. This is workman compensation reserve. Every time we will be debiting the workman compensation reserve. Workman compensation reserve account debit. Here also you need to do the same change. Workman compensation reserve account debit, and here also workman compensation reserve. Every time workman compensation reserve account will be debited. Everyone else done? Done, everybody?
Sir. No, sir.
Okay.
Last.
Okay. One more part of his part of this generalities yet to be written here on this slide. I'll be writing that on the note. Please write that down as well below this. Workman compensation account debit to revaluation account to work. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah, okay. So workman compensation account debit, revaluation account debit to workman compensation account. And we have one more general entry in case number 3. So this is only one part of case 3. We will be distributing the losses among the partners as well. And for that purpose, we have to do the one more general entry.
Done,
Done,
sir.
everyone? Done, okay. Also, below the last general entry, write this down. Write down the general entry. Uh, Partners, capital account debit. Partners, capital account debit to revaluation account. This general entry is being done to distribute the losses among the partners, revaluation account. So we can also write down the narration being revaluation or being the loss of workman compensation is being distributed among partners, and obviously that too will be in the old profit sharing ratio. I hope this is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will discuss few questions. So let's start with question number 76. See, question 76 is stating that there are three partners A, B, and C who are presently sharing the profit and losses in the ratio of 5:3:2. Decide they have decided to share the future profit and losses in the ratio of 2:3:5. Okay, so that means reconstitution is taking place in the firm, and we need to give the journal entry to distribute the workman compensation reserve of rupees 1,20,000 at the time of change in profit sharing ratio. Okay, so workman compensation reserve is 1,20,000, that is given in the question. Now this question have two parts. First part of the question is saying that there is no information about the claim is given. There is no information is given. No information about what? About the claim. No information about the claim is given. And second part of the question is saying that there is no claim against it. So isn't both the situation will be dealt in a same way? Both the
Yes,
situation
sir.
will be dealt, yeah. Since in the first situation no information is given, in the second situation no claim is made. In both the cases we are going to do the same thing. So we what are we going to do? We will be distributing the entire amount of 1,20,000 among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio, which is 5:3:2. So let me show you how this will be done. I'll be solving one question for you, and the next one will be I'll give it to you so that you can also try that. Question number 76. So in this question, workman compensation reserve is 1,20,000. Workman compensation reserve account will be debited. Workman compensation account debit to, tell me, to partners capital account, right?
Yes.
And how many partners are there? There are three partners, A, B, and C. So we'll write down to A's capital account to B's capital account to C's capital account. Right. And the amount of compensation was 1,20,000. We need to distribute this among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. So that means out of 1,20,000, A is going to get 5 upon 10. The old profit sharing ratio was 5:3:2. And B is going to get 1,20,000 into 3 by 10. And C is going to get 1,20,000 into 2 by 10. So actually the amount will be 70,000, I guess.
60, right?
60. Okay, sorry. 60,000. Then 36,000. And then it will be 24,000. Right? Is that clear,
Yes.
everyone? And we can also write down the narration being workmen compensation reserve distributed among partners, distributed to partners in old profit sharing ratio, old PSR. Done, everyone? Is this clear?
Done. Clear.
Please note it down and let me know when you are done. Noted?
Yes.
Aman, Sania,
Yes, sir. Done.
done. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next question. Question number 77. X, Y, and this question number 77 is saying that X, Y, and Z, who are presently sharing the profit and losses in the ratio 5:3:2, decide to share the future profit in the loss in the ratio of 2:3:5. We need to give the general entry distributing the workman compensation reserve for of rupees 1,20,000. And then there is a claim of rupees 80,000. So this time we have a claim of 80,000, but the reserve is more than the amount of claim. So that means that is a favorable situation from firm's point of view, and the excess amount of reserve will be divided among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio. So will you guys be able to solve this question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm giving you 5 minutes to solve this question. Please let me know when you are done. Aman, Sania, and Halim.
Okay, sir.
Done, everyone. Done.
Done.
Yes, done.
Yes.
Aman, done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let me show you the correct general entry of it, and you all of you can also tally your solution with it. If there is any discrepancy, please let me know. Workman compensation reserve account debit 1,20,000. Then we will credit the workman compensation account, and the remaining amount of 40,000 will be distributed among the partners in the old profit sharing ratio to X capital account, to Y's capital account, and to Z capital account. Got it? This is the way you guys have also done the general entry of this question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now moving on to the next question. The last one of today's class would be question number 78. In this question, Ashok, Bhim, and Chetan, who are sharing the profits in the ratio of 5 is to 3 is to 2, they have decided to share the profits in the ratio of 2 is to 3 is to 5. Okay, so there is a reconstitution taking place with effect from 1st of April 2019. Workman compensation reserve appears at rupees 1,20,000 in the balance sheet as at 31st March 2019, and the workman compensation claim is estimated at rupees 1,50,000. So the compensation reserve is 1,20,000, and the claim is being made which is more than the amount of reserve 1,50,000. So claim is in excess of rupees 30,000. It is more than the amount of reserve that we have made. We need to pass the general entries for the accounting treatment of the workman compensation reserve. Okay, is the question clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so will you be able to solve this question? So
Yes.
shall I allow 5-7 minutes to solve it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give it a try. Just give it a shot. Then if you commit any mistake, then I'll help you. Done, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Halima.
Yes, done.
Done, sir.
Okay. All right. So please check your answers. See, the first general entry that we'll be doing is workman compensation account will be debited to revaluation. Workman compensation account debit, and revaluation account will also be debited by 30,000 and to the workman compensation account. Done, everyone. This is the same way you guys have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Done.
Okay. Then since we have a revaluation account opened here, that is indicating a loss that firm have suffered for rupees 30,000. So this loss of 30,000 will be distributed among the partners in the old PSR. So Ashok is going to bear 15,000, Dean is going to get 9,000 of loss, and Chetan will be bearing 6,000. So the entire 30,000 is distributed in the ratio of 5:3:2. So I hope you guys are also getting the same answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is uh, this is all about the workman compensation and the treatment of the workman compensation reserve. If everything is clear, I guess there is no other question based on the workman compensation reserve that we need to discuss in today's class. Other than the workman compensation, there is one more topic that we need to discuss, that is investment fluctuation reserve. But since not a lot of time is left in today's class, since we only have 10 minutes, so I don't think we will be able to finish the topic. So I just want that let's start this topic afresh in the next class. Is that clear? Is that okay? Will that be okay for all of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are not starting investment fluctuation reserve. We'll be talking about the investment fluctuation reserve in the next session. And if time allows, then we will be starting one more topic other than the discussion of the investment fluctuation reserve. We will do one more topic in the next session. So till then, all of you, take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir. Bye,